had an interesting thing happen to me on the way in. So, for those of you at home who don't know, we have like a portable setup for all of our podcast gear, right? It all goes into one big bag, and we just carry it around wherever we need to go. So I was carrying it today, and I was getting off the train at Southern Cross, and I was walking, and had the bag in my hand, in my left hand, and my hand got a bit tired, so I just switched hands. No big deal.
Standard procedure.
You do it a million times a day, right? I'm walking along the platform up towards the escalators at Southern Cross, and I switch hands with the bag, and suddenly, smack. And I didn't realize that directly next to me, this lady walking really fast was like right up on my inside.
Are we talking like a businesswoman here? Like
she looked like she was going. She had a travel bag. She looked like she was probably going to the airport or something. But then she jumped on the train that I just got off of. So I don't know. But like she was very short. So basically like I basically ended up like gut punching her with the bag. Oh, God. And I felt but she took it like an absolute champion. Like I stopped and I went, oh crap, what have I done? I turned around and noticed what I did. And I immediately went, oh, I'm sorry, like, are you okay? Do you need help? And she was just like, no, I'm good. And just, boom, I just took off like a shot.
Could that just be like CBD rules? Are people in the CBD just used to a little bit of rustle tussle and just take a couple of hits?
I don't even think it's that. I think there's a question to be had about how much space does one person, like, reasonably occupy.
Yeah.
So, like, you're holding a bag, that's already an extension of you.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like our personal space indicator in public obviously is lessened than what it normally is in private. But if you're holding a bag like that, surely everyone notices that and goes, all right, give the man a bit more space because you are prone to switch.
Yeah.
Right? Because a heavy bag, right?
Yeah.
So that means like you have more space at your disposal.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So this woman is walking beside you.
Yeah, and
that's on her, in my opinion.
To put it in context, I'd moved away from the train, so I was like towards the middle of the platform. And there's all like the vending machines and stuff there. So I was probably about a meter away from the vending machines, and that's the side she decided to come in on.
Yeah, no, that's on her. That's on her.
This is another thing.
By the way, just to cross in front of me and then get on the train. That's the direction
it's
she
on
decided
her.
to take.
Well, this is very interesting as well. We've spoken about how do we feel about overtaking someone on foot.
Yeah.
But do you take on the inside or do you take on the outside?
Well,
because if you take on the inside, I feel like you're just trying to be a bit flashy.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
If you take on the outside, you're just doing your job. You just realise that I'm moving a bit faster. But she obviously did not take into account of your extra load.
No, she wasn't paying attention.
She did not sidestep further enough.
That's the key indicator there, right? Now, I'm not against the inside overtake. But I feel like if you're going to go with the inside overtake, one, there's got to be legitimate space, person and a half worth of space.
You got to be quick,
and you got to be quick.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's no 1.5 speed. Right. You got to be going at 3.
She was moving at a brisk pace. No, she was.
But was she moving at a brisk pace that was kind of like brisk? Like 1.5 speed, like it's a nice walk. It's only slightly faster.
She was on the edge of jogging.
Okay.
That's the thing. Like she was moving.
I would grant now. Yeah. Now, had she taken into account the added width now that you need because you're carrying the bag?
No.
Plus the social norm that we accept as a person and a half.
Yeah.
Had she not taken that into account, I do not accept the inside overtake.
What I don't understand is that she did the inside overtake to then cross in front of me. To then get onto the train.
She might as well have taken the outside overtake.
Might as well take the outside overtake. She would have got on the train a lot faster.
It's everything in context, though. You need to understand the context. Because I'm a very, very brisk walker.
Yeah.
And I take you on the inside lane?
Are you an inside or outside overtaker?
I take whichever lane I feel like I got the best shot at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you in your head?
I will go around people to then walk in front of them to something that like is on the opposite side of them, like the train, because they walk like a fucking dickhead.
No, and I agree with that. 100%.
And the thing is, like, especially when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Right? I have to walk through that goddamn casino floor.
Yeah.
Hospo workers will be brilliant at the inside outside overtake.
I am
quick feet.
If I'm walking from one side of the casino floor to the other, I am looking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of me when I'm going like, okay, I'm going to dodge this bloke through like on the outside of him, on the inside of this group. I'm going to go through the middle of this group because for some reason there's 3 of them that are taking up an entire row. Yeah. And you know who it is, David?
You
know who it is, David?
Go on.
It's all. It's your family. It's just
my people we dawdle, right? Like we look around and we're like,
because a lot of people, it's just on the casino floor. They're just like, oh my god, look at all the colors and the lights.
There's a lot of stimulation.
And I'm like, I need to get from here to here as quick as I can, and you are in my way. Now, for the most part, at the casino, there are like back routes we can take off the floor that are quicker, but that's a lot of waiting for lifts, waiting for escalators that are our private, little ways. if I need to get from one side of the casino floor to the other, I'm going on the floor and I'm just dodging, weaving, whipping, just getting between everybody as quickly as possible.
Have you ever...
You think 3 to 4 people ahead of you. You don't. There's none of this mucking around.
There's a bit of strategy.
No, I was going to say, like, hospo workers are trained this way. Like, it's embedded in you.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, are you ever, like, low-key sitting there going, all right, now I know I got to get across the casino floor. At this point, surely you're playing a game and going, all right, it's a busy day. I reckon I can do it in a minute.
Yeah, no, I've done it before. Like, I've like, okay, how quick can I get from point A to point B? Especially like a Saturday night when it's just like there's people everywhere, and it's like, say, like if I'm doing a graveyard, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm good. It's empty. But if it's like 2 a.m. Saturday night, peak service, and I need to like go on break or something, and the quickest way from my current venue to the break room is right up the guts of the main casino floor. I'm like, all right, how quickly can I do this?
Because I have a mate who he's a dealer, and so their shifts is like an hour and 20.
Yeah, dealers get a break every 20 minutes.
Every 20 minutes?
What?
Sorry. They get a 20-minute break every 2 hours.
So every 2 hours. So like, but because he's obviously in the middle of the floor, he has to know his exact route if he wants to get a smoko quickly.
Well, imagine
he's like to me. He goes, "Man, it takes me 4.5 minutes to get to the smokers. It takes me about 3 minutes to have a cigarette." And then so he's clocked it.
I love it.
Head. And I do the same thing when I'm going to university. Anything you always do the little clocks that you know you like. Oh, it takes me 5.5 minutes to get here.
Oh yeah.
6 minutes here, 12 minutes to walk there. You know the incremental little times that you need to do, and it's so funny that hospo workers just seem to.
Well, it's like because most of us would have started as glassies. So that whipping and ducking between people when you're on like a busy dance floor trying to grab glassware, that's when it develops, and then like. The more you work in like restaurants and stuff, when you've got like 3-plate carry and you kind of go between people that are in your way, you just like that lateral movement is just ingrained into your body at some point, and you just know how to do it.
My first hospo job was in a very small, very popular cafe, and dealing with little kids on a Sunday and things like this, you are constantly dealing with just switching your feet, even very small movements just to get past little toddlers running past your feet. I've seen a man almost pour a latte on a child's head. It is not a fun day when that happens.
No.
So you got to be very quick with your feet, and it is. You don't realize that these kind of skills will help you in life, but when it comes to on the street, having quick feet really does help.
We would all know, because we all went to Swinburne, right? We all went to Swinburne, so I imagine we would all know this. That from getting the train station, walking up that alleyway. Right, and then making that right turn towards Ian, right? Now that to me is the most like psychological torture you can go through as a first year, because not only social norm dictates if you're walking, you're on the left side of the street, and then the oncoming is on the right side. But you got to make that right turn to get into Ian building.
A lot of people take that as a sharp right turn.
Yeah, they take a sharp. They go there and then they bang right. Right. What I'm getting at is I'm planning my banging right like as I get off the train. So I have a good 3 minutes of walking going, all right, now I need to assess the traffic coming towards me, the traffic ahead of me, where I can slip through. Am I going inside or outside lane? And then I've got to go, all right, now I've got to make the sharpest of right turns to get into Ian, lest I have to skip that door and go all the way around, right? Because that's just extra cardio that I'm about. But it's that sharp right turn where you can just tell all the first years are kind of like slowing down, going, "Oh wait, no, I got to go through there." But they're not judging that.
Well, I would say during O-Week it might be quicker to duck onto Main Street than cut back up.
I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's just insight for Swinburne students.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But what makes that particular situation worse is when you're filming a student film. Which Dave and I did. We were making a film for a film festival. And we used that spot to do a really simple like walking up the stairs scene, like a really simple one. Honestly, the whole thing took maybe 10 minutes, but that's like a pretty highly trafficked area. So basically, traffic stopped there, and it caused like a bit of a pile up. Even though I was like, just keep coming through, it's fine, because I wanted extras in the background of people just walking around to show that it's like we're not in a deserted building. It's like this is like a city type area, right? But everybody sees the cameras and stops. Right, it's the complete opposite to America. In America, like
World Star,
if you have a camera out, everybody wants to talk to you. And with that, welcome to Pint Party, a podcast designed to turn a beer and a chat into a tax write-off. I'm your host, John McLeish, and joining me is our regular main man, David Young. David, welcome.
What up?
Also joining us is the wonderful Ricki Needs. Ricki, welcome.
Hello.
And coming back again once more, hopefully we'll be able to hear you this time. Lachlan Beasley, welcome.
I'm hoping to come through nice and crisp today, John.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to be good.
Me too.
I've been told to work on my etiquette, and that is today's plan, boys.
Yeah,
it's all going to be learning.
Part of it's not just your fault. Part of it's my fault, and this is something like I kind of believe in is sort of like if you have a problem, you address it on the platform you had the problem with. So our last episode 6, wasn't that great. It wasn't really good. And that's my fault. But I'll tell you what, I learnt my lesson that day, and that is you got to learn what your number is with mimosas. You got to learn your number. Like, that's a thing. I've heard people say that you got to know your number, and it never really made sense to me because I'm a beer drinker. I mean, I run a podcast called Pint Party. We drink beer. That's who I am as a person. I am John. I drink beer. And so usually when I drink beer, right, it kind of bloats you up. So by the time I get bloated, which is about, I mean, look, I'm not a heavy drinker, so I get like 3 pints in and I'm done. And I get bloated and I stop. And then I might get a bit tipsy. I might kind of go, ooh, like, get a bit of a light head, but that's about it, right? And then give me like 10 minutes and I'm okay. But with mimosas, you can just sink those things like they're Tic Tacs. Ooh, boy.
I feel like they're designed that way. Like
Yeah,
good
they really
alcohol.
are.
And when I'll say good, like
Why
quote
do you
unquote.
think they're mainly only seen at really fancy events like polo?
Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
easy to sit back, bro.
Easy to sit back.
But beers are designed to be heavy, though.
Yeah.
Well, yes. 'cause
Right? But that is like the biological indicator of it. Like you
Yeah.
sink them, and it's because they're heavy and they're very carby too.
well, then you get
right?
involved. Then that's just normal beer. Then you get IPAs and XBAs, and they're like eating a full meal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then you get into like the Guinness drinkers, and I'm
Ooh.
like, I don't even know how you do that.
Anyone who can smack half a pint
In
of a
Melbourne,
Guinness is fucked.
especially, Why are you drinking Guinness in Melbourne? We all
Why
know.
are you drinking Guinness in general? I could not be more vocal about
Drinking
Guinness
Guinness
is
in
trash.
Ireland? Sure, go all for it. Ricky, how do you feel about Guinness?
Guinness, not so much. Kilkenny, yes.
Okay.
I
No,
love
fair.
that. It's like drinking caramel. It is so smooth. It's so
Ooh.
sweet. I've spent many a night at the Elephant and Wheelbarrow here in Melbourne, putting them back like they're nothing, and then waking up the next day. And I think it was Adam Hill Adam Hill's made a joke about this. It's like, if you drink stout, the next day it'll come out of you exactly the same as it came in.
Oh yeah.
So Guinness, black with a white bit of foam on top. And Kilkenny's exactly the same. It'll come out nice deep brown with a bit of white foam on top. It is just...
Now, when we say coming out,
Yeah, no, the other end.
oh, the other end.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, no, it comes out
straight through,
like
mate.
a little
Straight
bit
through, yeah. No,
like
no
there's a-
digestion happened.
Yeah. Your body just like makes a little bit of Mr. Whippy on top and just like nice white foam. But yeah, no, it is a meal.
It
And
is.
like
Yeah, and that's what you hear about
I
Guinness.
used to work in an Irish pub, and yeah, Guinness was like, I know how to pour the perfect Guinness. But
a little
it's-
more top.
drinking it is tough. Like Guinness for me is like but I'll tell you what, okay, the one Guinness drink I liked, and I had this as a knockoff one night after a guy suggested it to me. Captain Morgan with Coke in a pot glass halfway up, and then you back pour. So on a Guinness tap,
Yeah.
there's the full pour, which is pulling it forward, and then back pour is pushing it back. And that's how you add that nice bit of creamy head on the top of a Guinness.
Oh my God, I'm learning so
You-
much.
you back
I did not
pour.
know this.
Did you not know there's two ways?
I genuinely,
Yeah,
when I
but it's
when I
only
think
like-
of a gimmick tap, I just think you pull it back and then
No,
that's it. There's
it's
no forward pour.
it's only Guinness and like stout taps that have the back pour feature. So you back pour a Guinness head on top of the Captain Morgan and Coke.
So you can't create a Guinness head just on a front pour.
well, it's funny because
Well, it overfoams.
at my
That back pour
Yeah.
is like a nice gentle stream. It's not as
Yeah.
violent as the.
whereas like normal taps will
Oh.
have just a very aggressive foamage.
yeah,
Because like the one that I had at my old work, they had a very aggressive high pressure.
So the strat is you got the glass, you pull front, and that's where you
Yep.
get most of the beer, and then you got to
And
pull
then you-
back just to get the foam on top.
and then you got to
Well,
let it rest.
yeah.
right.
You
So
gotta
you,
let it
you, you pour up to
so
the,
much effort just to pour a fucking
You
beer.
pour up to the
there's
bowl.
there's a lot more effort that goes into it than people think.
Yeah, and I was
there's a
gonna
bit
say
of an
it's an art form.
There's
There is
a
a bit of an
genuine art
to
form
it.
to pour in
Yeah,
a good beer.
I wasn't allowed to serve a Guinness until I was there for about 2 months.
Really?
You got to go through Guinness
Was that a
training.
crown-
I had to like learn.
Was
No,
that was
no.
that the Irish pub that you're at?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes,
so
they-
interesting.
because we had a very select group of people that
Mm-hmm.
only drank Guinness when they came to this pub.
Yep.
Yep.
And if
And
they
you-
drank a bad Guinness, they would fucking flame you.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
So I had to learn how to pour them for about 2 months before I was allowed to actually like serve them to customers.
Did you
I
have to
d-
take a class?
No, just like the most senior bartender.
He's got a cert 2 in pouring a Guinness.
I do,
alright?
I do. Yes.
There is a class you can take though.
Yeah, no, there is.
There
I'm
is.
sure there's like
The-
contests and
There's Guinness.
No, no, there's a whole like Guinness
bartending.
course you can do. Like
Yeah.
in Ireland, they've got the Guinness how to pour a Guinness like certification. Guinness offers it.
In Ireland, I would not be surprised if it was an undergraduate degree.
You can go, no, it's not an no. It's like a 1 day thing. It's part of the brewery tour. You go on the brewery tour, and part of what they offer is how to pour a Guinness. It's like the thing. I only know about this because I saw like a Today I Learned on Reddit where they said that the reason why they knew it is because their local bartender had it up on the wall.
Oh, lol.
Pride of place.
I would
I am
fucking
certified.
Honestly, man, that's something that you would rep.
I would rep it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, she was like,
I have a
certified.
Heineken certification.
From Heineken or
Yeah, from Heineken.
That's pretty dope. Like
They literally came and just showed us how to pour a pint. And I was like, I know how to do this. And the guy was like, you're doing it wrong. I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, no, you got to do it like...
An insult to my career.
There is a specific way that Heineken likes you to... And they like the really tall pints, not the real fat stout ones like the Imperial pints like we have.
Yeah.
So like there's a Heineken way to pour a pint and I had to learn. And now I've got to, like... I've
Do
got
they-
a Heineken certification.
Do they test to see what looks most aesthetically pleasing and what beer glass?
It's all market research.
For sure.
crazy.
Everything is market research.
Yeah.
I love
this
how
area of business.
this is what I'm saying.
With
There's,
beer.
it's crazy, just like what people think, like just what people think about. Sorry, just like what.
Find your thoughts.
Sorry, just thinking that just the amount of detail that some people put effort into is just crazy.
Yeah, especially
Like-
when it's just a drink. It's
That's what
going to be
I'm saying.
consumed
Like,
in a matter of
people
minutes.
are not a lot like the masses are not thinking about like the details like Heineken are.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But
Like,
it's all subliminal anyway.
I
Like,
have
we'll-
not worked a minute in hospo in my life, right? And that's why, like, seeing this perspective, and like to me, I just order a beer. I just go, hey man, can I get a pint of that? I don't even care what it looks like in a fucking glass, right? But behind the scenes,
Excuse me? You don't care what it looks like?
oh, as long as it fills up a pint glass, I don't care.
You constantly have a go at me for it.
But let's be honest, you also look at it like oh, I don't really like that color. Oh, I wish it was.
Oh, when it comes to like, that was my entry. Now that I've experienced being a beer drinker for a while, now I'm at a point where it's like, well, if you're gonna pour a beer, don't give me 50% head.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be like, oh, there's like that much head. I'm really gonna be so fucking pissed off about it. But behind the bar, you know, you're seeing the bartenders and they got all these like gimmicky pours. Now I know there's one for the Guinness too. Like, I didn't know. I thought it was just you pour the beer, and then you just have like an indicator of like 2 fingers. That's as much good head as possible.
Oh, dude. Okay, so I actually went to bartender school. I say bartender school, it was a 2-week thing, and half of it was barista training. But we spent 3 whole days on how to pour a beer. Like 3 days with like 2-hour sessions of us just pulling beers through the tap. And then I got work placement at a pub near what used to be called Etihad Stadium, is now Marvel Stadium, near there. And they do a lot of like you know cricket matches and stuff around there.
Yeah.
And so you get a lot of the older crowd that come through, like older cricket people who come in for the test matches and stuff. And as a result, though, they're used to their beer looking a very specific way, right? And if you've got more than a thumbnail's width of head, they will have a go at you.
they probably say the same thing about the guys at the Carlton Room over the MCG. Because that's a big members-only bar, and I could assume there'd be a lot of guys who'd be a bit cranky if Steve didn't pour their beer the exact way they've been pouring it for 30 years.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But it's not even like if you do more than a thumbnail's width, they'll have a go at you. And even if you do less than a thumbnail's width, they will have a go at you. It's got to have the thumbnail's width.
Well,
of
did
head.
any of you know the purpose of head on beer?
Is
I
it not
actually
just
don't.
aesthetic? Because honestly,
No.
I don't taste
I'm,
the
su-
head.
I'm sure it's to do something with the carbonation or like...
It is partly to keep the carb, so the bubbles
Oh,
rise,
I can see that.
but they run into the head, so they can't pop.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the beer stays carbonated, and also it is the fragrance. So half of what you do, this is the Heineken training. He said, what is the first thing you do when you have a beer coming towards your face? You smell it before you taste it.
Yep, true
And
that.
if you have a flat,
It's
shitty
really the rule
beer-
of life for anything, though, actually.
Well, no, it is. Yeah, it is. But
Before you're about to
but
eat or consume something, you're going to take a whiff.
You get the fragrance of a beer from the head, not from the beer itself.
Yeah.
So if there's no head, you're smelling nothing, essentially, and then it hits you the taste, and then it's flat or not carbonated enough, and then all of a sudden you're having a shit beer. So you need that head. And with the Heineken training, it's the whole like rule of thumb, whatever it is, thumbnail, whatever. That's bullshit. Like it's a good portion of head. Like more
So
than
he
more
was
than-
like different beers
more
dictate
than-
different.
Well, yeah, it
Yeah.
There's
is
such an art to it.
It
There's
is
such
very
an
true.
art
Like
to
you
it.
take a Carlton draft,
You don't need much.
Any sort of head on it is going to keep it carbonated for as long as you're going to drink it, because you're usually drinking it as quick as possible because it's Carlton Draft.
You're getting rid of
It's
it.
cold
So the fact that you
crisp,
ordered it
it's
was the
gonna go.
problem, actually.
Something you want to savor and sit on, like an IPA, like something like a fancy craft beer. You want a lot of head because you want it to stay fragrant for longer. You want it to stay carbonated for longer because it's probably something you're going to sit on for a little bit. You're not going to just slam it down.
It's a conversation beer.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't
exactly.
know. What is the best conversation beer?
It would definitely be like an IPA, something like a really hoppy beer.
So obviously something that has to last and you have to and can sit really well.
A pale, a Pacific.
Yeah,
Pale
a
is probably
pale
what you
would be
want.
the go-to, I imagine, for having a good combo.
Like my dad loves 50 Lashes James Squire.
Yeah, 150 Lashes
that
are
is
good.
to me that is a very middle-aged man beer.
It is.
That's the dad beer.
Is it?
It's a bit
That's
of a dad
such
beer.
a dad beer.
It is.
Me and my mates used to go to the James Squire Brew House like every weekend.
It's
You're
really
a
good.
dad
That's
kind
all
of
I
guy,
would-
bro.
That's
what
all
I'm
I would
saying.
drink. This is when I was 19.
When it started out, it was a very I was drinking it when it first popped up,
It's
and
good.
now that they've been bought out, James Squires by one of the bigger corporations. It's now mass produced, so it's not as doesn't feel as special.
No.
Wait.
And that's happened to Furphy as well. Furphy got bought out by Lion Nathan, and now Furphy is I went to the Furphy brewery. I have had.
It's not there in Geelong anymore.
It is in Geelong.
Is it still in
It's
Geelong?
in Geelong.
That's the
It's at
home court advantage, bro.
It's at the Little Creatures Brewery now.
That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have had extra Furphy. It's this exclusive
God.
Furphy they have at the brewery that's Furphy turned up to 11.
Stop.
It is
Stop.
amazing. It is so good, man.
Stop. This whole entire podcast and all our fans know how much I fuck with Furphy. Now, if I'm going to hear this shit, I'm going to have to take a road trip.
No,
All right?
Dave, but Dave, don't harken back to a few episodes back when you said you were going to do the half marathon, the half Ironman challenge.
Yeah, and they're going to fucking sponsor me.
we were going to do the one in Geelong, and we were going to do the brewery
If
tour.
we're
as well.
running past the
and we're
brewery,
gonna
I'm not
make a
finishing
day
the
of it.
marathon.
No, that's it. No, that's the carrot. That's the carrot,
I
though.
thought
You do
for
the
just
marathon,
the
then we do the
day.
brewery tour.
That's what I'm saying. That can be your little reward. At the
That's
end.
your
You
reward.
ordered
That's
to
your,
the brewery tour the next day?
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's the carrot.
I'll be,
Furphy
wait,
at me, bro.
I'll be waiting at the finish line with a
The cold one.
Yeah. A fucking
not
cold
a pint,
one, bro.
A pint of Furphy extra, just
Oh,
for you.
Stop it. Stop it.
Get that good stuff. It is really good.
I'm like,
And they've
mate,
got
my
the-
mate needs this.
No.
He
This
needs
is-
this to finish.
I can't finish without Furphy.
This actually leads to an interesting discussion I had with you, Locke, a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
I brought up this point. I reckon, and because we're just talking about pubs, it leads perfectly in. In the CBD, I reckon you could go a block,
Oh, yeah.
a block before you found a coffee shop. Any longer that any block, you will find at least one coffee shop.
That's in Melbourne for sure.
In the CBD, right up CBD, every block, one coffee shop.
That's
you'll
it.
You'll be able to get a coffee at any block. Now,
I mean, when you say coffee shop, there are plenty of places that will serve coffee that aren't technically a coffee shop.
That's right, and that's why-
McDonald's, for instance.
exactly.
Has a
I'm
McCafe.
going, you can get a coffee
Yeah.
any block
Yeah.
in the CBD.
Yeah.
Right? I'll go as far to say you could walk in excess of 3 minutes and find a coffee.
Yeah.
If we had to put
I
a timestamp on it.
honestly, in the CBD, I think I could just look at one shop front and see a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From every shop front.
I reckon.
That's it.
Which then, I came up with that rule, and now I've extrapolated over to the country. I reckon in every block you could find a pub in the country.
So this is why I need to take you boys to a chuka.
All right?
Because-
And this was proven true when we went to Shepparton.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I did want to ask you guys about this. Okay, so can I just talk about my experience with your trip to Shepparton, just real quick? So I'm sitting at home, just chilling out, having a pretty chill day, playing Final Fantasy 14 as I want to do. And then I get a snap from Dave, which is not an uncommon occurrence. In fact, while Dave was in his exam period doing all of his exams, he wasn't on Snapchat, which is a good boy. I praise you for it. By the way.
Thank you.
But here's the thing for me though, right? When you don't snap for more than 12 hours, I get genuinely worried you've died, because you've established a pattern that as part of being within the realm of Dave, you are to receive snaps approximately once every 12 hours. 12 to 16 hours. Sometimes you're having a bit of a lazy day, which is fine. Everybody does that, right? So when you don't do it for more than 12 to 16 hours, I get worried that you've died. So I get one of these snaps, and I look, and suddenly it says, oh, I'm in Shepparton. I'm like, how the fuck did he end up in Shepparton? Because in my mind, you were still in Melbourne. So in my mind, you just teleported to Shepparton. Actually, real quick side story about this. David has had a bit of a Carmen Sandiego moment a few years ago with me, where he went up to China for a trip, right? And I knew he was going up to China, and then I knew he was coming back to Melbourne, and I knew roughly when he was coming back because again I got the snaps every 12 to 16 hours. And so I thought, oh, he's back in Melbourne today. That's cool. I expect to see another snap of him in Melbourne. I'm expecting an airport selfie of some kind, right? And I get the airport selfie and go, okay, cool, he's back in Melbourne. And then a few hours later, I get a snap of him in Sydney. I went, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Wait a minute. You were just in what do you... And then I needed to talk to... I can't remember why I needed to talk to you, but I needed to talk to you for some reason. It was about something. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about something, and so I sent you a voice message, and I said, David, I literally do not know where in the world you are right now. And I really didn't. Honest to God. You could have shown me a world, would not have known where he was on Earth. Couldn't tell you, right? And I said, I do not know where in the world you are right now, but I need to talk to you.
You don't have snap maps on, do you?
Yeah, no, I turn that shit. Whoever has snap, if you have snap maps on, you're either below the age of 18, right, or you don't know how to turn it off, right? Like
I like having snap maps on.
No, bro, I can't have snap maps on now, man, because I'll get called out.
No,
right?
don't you have to have it on if you want to have the geotag filter?
No, you can turn it off. You can put it in a ghost mode, and it's all fine.
Oh, okay.
The amount of times I've been like pulled up with my snap map on after I've gimmicked a lie and then just gone, I see you're over here. You said you were coming out later tonight. Why are you over in Geelong? And then I get ripped off. I had to turn it off. But like I said, if you either have snap maps on if you're under the age of 18, because it's such a gimmick with the kids nowadays, or you literally just don't know how to turn it off.
Well, to be fair, it's more fun when your friends are in like a general radius of you.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's not fun. All I'm saying is I've been pulled up enough times to go, look, it's now actually becoming a detriment to what I'm trying to do.
No,
I'm getting called out.
So that's David and his Snapchats. Just to put this into perspective. So I get the snap that you're in Shepparton. And honestly, I had two thoughts. First of all, you'd magically teleported to Shepparton. I thought that was a bit of a trip. That made my head spin for about half a second. And then my second thought was, how come you didn't tell me about it? Because I would have told you to go and visit my mum. She's 2 towns down in Violet Town.
Man's needed a day away.
And she's a barista working in the cafe in town. And quite frankly, she needs business.
I would have loved to have a cup of tea with you.
By the way, I'm just going to put over my mum here for a minute, right? She does put
over all mums.
I'll put over all mum. Yeah, but I'm going to put over my mum specifically. What can I say? I'm biased. You know, full disclosure. But she does like homemade little cakes and scones and stuff. She makes it all at home and then brings it into the cafe to sell, as well as coffee.
Scone jam and cream. I could tell you what.
Yeah, she makes it herself. She does it herself. In fact, you know. So yeah, she you know, and she's even thinking about entering competitions and stuff. Her stuff is that good. So man, you got to go out and got yourself a good coffee and a scone and had a bit of a Melbourne experience in the countryside, a little taste of home, so to speak. But anyway, Lockie, you were there too, so I want to bring you in on this. What on earth were you two, like, what made you decide, you know what, let's go to Shepparton?
Honestly, it was a bit of a daycation.
I needed a daycade, Lockie needed a daycade. We're just like, fuck it, let's go up. We had business to attend up there anyway.
And honestly, it was a good day.
Business to attend in Shepparton?
I do business, bro. I do business, bro. And I've got a list of shit here that we're going to discuss.
We
Will you,
mulled
Walter
a lot
White?
of ideas over. We've come up with a great bank for us to work off.
The Bant
Bank.
The Bant Bank.
I love it.
And David, do you just want to whirl one off the top?
We'll just pick a topic.
Shepparton is a lovely, beautiful town, by the way.
Love
Shepparton.
On God, would open up a regional office.
I understand it has gossip and rumours to be the meth capital or one of the meth capitals.
It's not just rumours. There was an official census that was released, and it's like the most meth per capita is around Shepparton.
And I'm not going to say we didn't see tones. When we were sitting at McFarlane's pub.
Yeah, the local pub.
The local
One
Irish.
of the local pub on that block, actually.
Yeah.
we did happen to see a man pedaling a bike for all of his worth while texting at the same time. I've never seen anything like it.
That is the giveaway. That is the giveaway. If you're like, oh, you see a bloke on a bike, literally the look is draping hoodie.
He's got no helmet on.
Pants, one hand on the handlebar.
Flanny's on.
Flanny, mobile in the other. Not even looking at the road. He's just texting. He's just texting. And he's just perusing down the street. Nothing screams, I push drugs more than that.
But it's all right because I'm sure the locals know him.
Oh yeah, he probably gets a good bit of business.
I mean, aside from actually coming up to you and going, "Hey mate, you want some drugs?" And like, if you had stayed around Shepparton long enough,
if anyone
would have happened.
Everyone in Shepparton knew straight away that me and David went from Shepparton.
Yeah.
we had a very classic Melbourne look.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I
David
reckon
was wearing different textures of black, and I was wearing denim. So
No, you were both wearing denim.
Yeah, we were rocking our denim.
You were doing the double
not
denim.
denim jackets. Which
you were
we've
wearing. No,
decided,
you were
actually-
wearing a denim jacket.
I was wearing a denim jacket.
He was wearing
bro.
a denim jacket. I remember the
was.
snaps.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
You were literally there with me for 12. Fuck. All right.
You've got a selfie together and you were both wearing denim. and I thought double denim in my head.
Right.
I reckon the denim jacket.
He wore
be the
it
heart
for like
attack
that
fit.
photo. That was it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I don't know about Dave's wardrobe outside of snaps. It's the only time
I'm sure
I see
if
it.
he popped the trunk of his car, he would have just had multiple outfits ready to go. But
Bro, I come equipped for every occasion.
I know you do.
I come equipped. In my gym bag, I have on the go gym clothes.
Yeah, I know
Like,
you.
you just never know when I'm going to work in a sesh.
For reference, if anybody wants to get an idea of what Dave's talking about, watch the film Crazy Rich Asians. There's a scene where Aquafina ends up at like the really rich people, the Crazy Rich Asians house, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm at the Crazy Rich Asians house. I need an outfit." And she opens up the back of her car, and she's got all these outfits just like ready to go, all labeled and color coordinated. I was like, honestly,
It's so
respect
true.
to that character. You know what I mean? She was organized.
and that's why you didn't belong in the country.
No, we stuck out like a sore goddamn
People
thumb.
can just smell
We went
that on you.
we went to the visitors center. I don't think anyone has stepped foot in there. It was brand new. It looked like it just been painted. Like we walked in there. There's a woman. The woman who was working the desk was pushing 70.
Yeah.
And we looked like we made her day.
Probably made her whole
I
week.
said hi to her, and it was just like, oh my god, hello.
And knowing me and David, we were being very kind, and we were just being like, "Oh, we're just wondering what the sights are here in
Shoot, no,
Shepparton."
we were on. I walked in, and I walked in with confidence.
On like hotcakes. It was great.
Well, you saw the cows.
That's the first thing David asked. He's
That's
like,
all I
"Where are
wanted
the
to see."
moving cows?"
No, it's the museum.
The museum,
So you
just
saw
a
the
park.
cows and you saw the meth dealer. What else is there to see?
the
in
botanical
Shepparton?
gardens.
Botanical gardens were quite cute, actually. That's
Okay.
where we came up with most of the ideas.
It's still under construction, it seems. It's like half built.
Are they like the one in Morwell where it's made by the Work for the Doll people?
Most likely, yes.
Yeah.
It's like out. Honestly, we had to cross a bridge. We had to go. Like we thought we were going to get stabbed just getting to the botanical gardens.
Yep.
Yeah.
There
There were
didn't get
cows
it.
outside too, which
were
was pretty sick.
very fluffy cows though.
Yeah.
They were good
Didn't go to Club Rawhide.
No.
Trust you to know the fucking club scene over there.
Do you know? Okay. I'm going to tell you. Like, Club Rawhide. Guess what kind of club it is?
A club. Oh, fuck if I know.
Cowboy
Chance.
theme.
It's like a gay club, wouldn't it?
No.
It's for leather daddies.
No.
Oh, okay.
Club Rawhide.
Yeah. Cowboy.
No.
Where are we going
Wait,
wrong
is this
with
a Blues Brothers themed club?
It's a strippers.
Oh.
Club Rawhide. Come on.
Are there poles?
I would love.
Yes, there's poles.
No
Hit 'em
shit.
up,
There's
move 'em out,
poles.
hit 'em
Yeah.
up.
You can't open a strip club if you don't have poles.
Well, exactly.
I'm sure there are.
Like that's got to be like industry code at that point.
no, yeah,
like if you're going
that's
to open
like-
up and get a license for a strip club,
This
what?
strip
So how
club
many?
isn't the code. There's no poles.
How many poles are you going to have? You're going to
Well,
have a
this-
minimum 2.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so what if I go to into a club that just has people taking off their clothes in a room,
No.
and not a strip club?
That's a residential address, in my opinion. You have poles. There's a pole code in a strip club. There has to be.
Well, it's a
And-
pole dancer, not a stripper. A stripper just takes off their clothes. A pole dancer obviously uses a pole.
Yeah, but this is a strip club. Like I feel like if you're opening up a strip club establishment,
obviously this is a
there's
rural
gotta be
strip
poles.
club.
It is a very rural strip club. Yeah.
So that's the only one, obviously.
yeah. Huh? Oh, it's rough.
It's the men's gallery of the country.
Yeah. Hey, men's gallery's all right. Shut
Men's
the fuck
gallery
up.
is
I
all right.
will not have a word against men's
I'm
men's
not
gallery.
sniffing men's gallery. Just on record, I've never gone to a strip club.
Bullshit.
Obviously.
No, you want to sniff a strip club in Melbourne? It's Kittens. Kittens is like the
I got a mate who runs security there.
yeah. Well, yeah, and
I
there's
know
a
a girl
reason
who
they need
works there.
security there. Kittens is bad.
Boy, I've got a good funny story from the men's gallery. That was a good one. I told it when I was going to TAFE at the time, and on Monday, like I went there on a Saturday night for a friend's birthday, and then on the Monday, my first class of the day was a HTML class, and the teacher always asked us what we did on the weekend, and nobody would say anything, and he'd always get frustrated. So that day, boy, did I have something to tell him, and I told him my story of men's gallery, and he never asked that question ever again the rest of the semester. So I like to
You
think
broke him, John.
I live for the opening introductions.
I like to think I was the hero in my class. And I kind of was because
I've-
nobody else wanted to
I've
talk to
the
me.
only
Like, thank
extrovert
you.
among
I've
a
seen
bunch
a
of
mate of mine.
introverts.
I've seen a mate of mine pay a stripper in coins at men's gallery, and it was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. Today.
Apparently, that's a thing
it's just
in
seeing,
Canada.
seeing a
Make it
girl
a hail?
just standing there, like real nice lingerie, just with her hands out, and my mate's just digging around in his wallet for coins, just like 20-cent pieces at a time. I'm like, I'm so sorry, like, for my awful behavior, like you just got a private dance from a woman for 20 minutes and then you're paying her 20-cent pieces. Like, that is awful.
Where is she going to put the coins?
This is what I'm saying. She just walked out. I literally saw her with like no, she's like cupping them as she just walks out the door. I was just
Are we at the age of technology where they start accepting FPOS?
I'm sure.
Right, where they come up to you, just be like, oh, is that a lap dance? Pay $50. Like, do you take card? It's like, yeah, just swipe it here.
So I went
Not
to
even swipe, man. You can get one of those like
PayWave.
the
PayWave
PayWave
on
like
the
inserted in
G-string.
your wrist. No, just insert it in your wrist. Just and then you're done.
Oh yeah, like a
I did that.
All you need
That's
is
cool.
like an RFID tag.
A guy
You just
did
put it
that.
in your wrist.
A guy did that for his Opal card in Sydney.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he inserted it and then it got infected and he had to get taken out. But there's probably a surgical, like, clean way to do it.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
and
is.
If you're a person who needs to take many payments in a quick
But it's
sort of
it's actually
scenario,
crazy.
Say you're a stripper, just get one of them things inserted in your wrist.
That's the
But
advancement.
this is what I'm saying.
I don't carry cash
even
nowadays.
better, you do it
cash.
you put it in the lingerie, right? And then when you get the when you get the real panty sniffers in, right? You hand them the panties, which has the RFID tag in the lining of it, and then they get the sniff, and then they do the tap, and they hand it back, and it's like you make payment a whole experience in and unto itself. You make the consumer excited about the payment process,
This quick
right?
way payment
God, we
stuff
need
is
JJ.
crazy because like I was at a club for the first time in like 8 months last Saturday, and I walked in not having any cash, being like, I won't be able to get it, I don't have any cash. And I went to the bouncer and said, oh, can I pay card? Just not thinking. He said, yeah. I went,
Yeah, mate.
all right. So they got on the line and went to the guy. I'm like, yeah, you guys take card, thinking they're going to pull out like a big FPOS machine. She goes, yeah. Like on her phone, she had a little like lightning
I've seen them
cable
gimmicks.
attachment with a little paywave. I was like,
called
$20
Square or
gone
something.
like that. I'm just like, me being in hospitality, $20 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was very sad that all it took was a little hand motion and then $20 of my...
It's getting too easy to spend
It's
money
getting way
nowadays,
too
man.
easy to
It's
spend
getting
money.
way too easy to spend money.
Like, just the little incremental payments is just really adds up during the week. Like, coffees are so easy to go. What do you think is like...
I literally just tapped $4 before we walked into the studio.
I know.
Yeah, and like, but you didn't even think about it.
No.
because that's a coffee for you.
Because you're like, I
But
need a
coffee's
coffee.
range. You'll spend anywhere between $3 to $6 on a medium coffee.
Yep.
But it's like it's at a point where it's like you don't really care. You just tap to get the coffee.
Yeah.
I can see you itching looking at that list, Dave.
No, I got a list of bands in front of me, but we're talking about money. I love
it's
talking
fair.
about money.
It is fair.
Yeah.
No. So okay, Locke and I, we went to Shepparton, a little bit of a daycare, right? We both needed it. It was a good bit of fun. But I figured, you know what? Let's get a bit of work done, right? And you put me and Locke in a room, we'll come up with Banter. Now, the one thing I really want to talk about, and I feel like this, I put it on my socials about a week ago, right? And it's gotten genuinely polarizing opinions on it. And more so interesting, it's gotten the polarizing opinion in a complete switch of gender, which is what I wasn't expecting. Do you believe that the male lingerie should be more of a thing?
This is funny because it does kind of wiggle into your RFID tag.
Yeah, like
does.
expanding on from that. Now, lingerie, obviously run by the female market, right? But you got to think about
Well, no,
why.
it's a male market that sells to females.
but it's a male market that sells, which is really interesting, right? Because
Uh-huh.
that's when I put it on my socials. 80% of the feedback was from females, all going yes, we want to see male lingerie. Now
So they want to see us in lacy little
They
boy
want to see,
shorts.
now, I'm not even fucking with you. 100%. I'm sick of the range of underwear we have as men, right? I want a bit more variety in my fabric, right? Now, if they were to introduce a really comfortable male lingerie, lacy, maybe a bit tight briefs, you know, with a bandolette that comes up that makes my ass pop, right, and my junk look good, I'm for it.
I feel like
what?
that's the thing. Like, you know, we say male lingerie, but you can't do like a 1-to-1 copy of like women's lingerie. You
No,
know what
it
I
would
mean?
be briefs.
It's got to be. Yeah,
It's gotta be briefs.
It's got to be suited to the male body, right?
What do you think? Are you a jockeys guy?
No, I'm not the dad jock guy. My roommate is, who walks around constantly in dad jocks.
Respect.
I don't respect the dad jock, man.
What do we mean by the
Like the
old-
budgie
the old school-
smuggler.
the
wait,
old-
your roommate runs around the budgie smuggler?
Yeah,
look?
Alice. Sorry, Alice. I'm putting you on the spot here. He is a full on.
I would have picked him as a boxer, man.
No, man, he is a full on dad jock connoisseur.
No.
Every pair
I
of
look
jocks.
at him completely differently now.
Every pair of jocks he owns is dad jocks.
I look at him completely
And he-
differently.
and he
And there's
Well,
a
every
certain,
girl
a
always.
certain kind of man can only wear the jock style because it's a lot
the-
of leg. It's a lot of leg.
It's a lot of leg to fawn.
It's a lot of leg. But maybe that's what the ladies want. They want some more leg.
Well, that's what I'm saying. For a male lingerie, I feel like it has to be the dad jock, tighter. And I reckon, and this is what I'm getting at, like there's so much variety in female undergarments, right? And especially when it comes to lingerie.
Yeah.
Why can't the men get it? And especially if the females are wanting it, right? They want to see men in this kind of stuff. I'm for it. I am so for it.
Do you think we're at a point in society where men can start happily wearing pantyhoses and stuff like this?
I reckon if we made one, and like all it takes is just those odd.
I'm sure Japan's there,
but we're not talking about like a kinky boot situation where we're making like
we're making like
the everyday
style shoes
like
for
it's my 6-month anniversary with my girlfriend coming up. I need to look nice for this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make.
And my girl has bought me some man-gerie.
Okay, hang on. Here's perfect. Here's a perfect example. Okay, here's a perfect situation where you would want some man-gerie, right?
I love how it's picked up.
Right?
The man-gerie.
I like it. Here's a perfect situation where you want some man-gerie, and I got a story to go with it. Your wedding night. Right?
Yes,
perfect.
Both of you pulling out the man-gerie and lingerie.
I heard about this. This was on the My Brother and Me podcast. Shout out to the McElroys. I love them very much. One of the brothers, Travis, when he was getting married, right, he knew that like the wedding night's a big night, right? Big. It's for him. It was the social event of the season, right? And he wanted to look his best, right, for his new wife. Which respect, I love that. And so he bought him, but the only option that was available to him in terms of man-gerie was silky black boxes, and that was it.
Yeah.
And so he bought them, and he wore them, and he took it like a champ, and he asked his brother to go and get them from his house because he forgot them.
Oh.
Which was a
classic wedding day move.
Which is I mean, that's a thing in its own. But the fact is that was the only. Now, if he had more options to choose from than silky black boxes, I think he would have taken it.
I just think you got to find the comedy when it gets to the wedding the wedding night, and you're both in the hotel room, and you both pull out Honey Birdette boxes at the same time, and you're just like, oh,
Honey Birdette would be my go-to retailer.
This is what I'm saying. If I was gonna get some man-gerie, I'd probably want to go to Honey Birdette because they see
I would cop the gimmick jocks with like property of enter spouse name here on the back.
But there's so much variety. What I'm getting at is we can even introduce a whole line of new fabrics, right?
I feel that your idea is very, very good, except for one little hiccup that I don't think a lot of women's lingerie have to deal with. Body hair. Blokes have hair in odd places.
No, women's lingerie deal with that too, dude.
No, I know, but like they deal with it in a very specifically front-facing area. Blokes, we're kind of a 360 in the crotchal region.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you. I feel like at that point, you just got to handle it yourself.
This is when it
Gotta
comes
handle
down
yourself?
to, it comes to personal maintenance, and I feel like especially if you're deciding to dare wear the jock style man-gerie, not the brief style, the jock style.
I would honestly actually love like someone who's like wearing the brief style just to shave like just the brief
just cut out a hair tan line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the hair
just
tan
wax
line.
just the bit that covers the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Like that would be hilarious. Like because I know like it just hair like any material that has that sort of loose knit, hair is gonna pop through. You're gonna have like pinching issues. You're going to have like a bunch of different like...
Especially if it's lacy and silky.
Exactly.
As you're pulling it down, your hair's going to catch.
Exactly, yes.
I'm hearing you. Girls go through it too, though.
No, I know.
Personal
but
maintenance
like I said,
comes into
it's
play.
usually just like a one like front V-shaped area they got to deal with. We got to do for the full 360 kind of dealing with that. So I like the idea. But yeah, like if you're right, if it's up to you, it's your personal... Like, if I want to look sexy, I'm going to shave all that off.
I didn't realize
Wear
there's
some
a
nice
difference
lingerie.
between bras and bralettes. Like, I didn't even know that
What
was...
the fuck is a bralette?
This is... So...
someone was explaining it to us.
Is it a training bra?
Do I need to Google this?
No, so
is this a
essentially
risky click?
it's a bra without
Is it a man's deal?
without the cup and without the lining, essentially. So it's just
what?
got so it's
It's
just
just fabric around the
it's
nipples.
just a fabric around the nip, essentially. So it's mainly designed for girls who are wearing like layered singlets or who are like just wanting to sleep in it.
So there's no wires.
So there's
or
no
anything.
wires. There's no
So there's no
actual
support.
There's no support. So it's just
some support.
There's like you get a little bit of like strapping, but like that's it. This is what I'm learning. I'm learning this too.
So
like,
it's like so that's
Where's JJ?
it's crazy. I know we
still-
chose the episode, right?
I still have not come around firmly to the concept of cups, and I'm going to go right on
Dude,
record
it is
right
a
now.
science.
Dude, but no, it's a fucking stupid fashion science.
No.
We're
No,
sitting
well-
here and I'm buying jocks. I'm either a large or an XL. And it stretches and it fits. Now, when it comes to bras, I hate the notion that you can be a 34C, but then if you wanted to wear a D, you can wear a 32D. right? Because it's just
There's just different conversions.
It
though.
makes, but it's just make it simpler. Lingerie doesn't come in. To my understanding, lingerie does not come in those A, B, C, blah, blah, blah. They come in like large, small, blah, blah, blah. Like because
no, they don't. They come in numbers, and the numbers aren't consistent between shops. Do you know why?
But that's another thing. The numbers aren't even consistent.
Here's the thing.
They all run off their own value. They all do it to whatever the designer thinks.
Well, here's the thing. Do you know why men have a sizing system and women don't? It's because of war. That's what caused it. So
what is it good for?
So the standard male sizing system came from the United States when they were gearing up for, this is World War One, right? This is way back in the day.
The Great War.
They were gearing up for World War One, and of course they needed uniforms, and because they had the draft, you're getting a bunch of different dudes in, and you need to put them all in uniform. Now, if you're going to mass manufacture uniforms, how do you do that and make sure that every uniform fits everybody? And of course, military people are like, it's got to be clean and cut and crisp and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? You can't have no bugger in like floppy uniform,
baggy pants.
Right? Baggy pants just can't happen, right? So what they did was they literally measured just about every single man in the army. And from that, they drew up, they used that as their base for their statistics and worked out a bell curve and came up with the sizing system based on that. Now, women never had a system that came through with that except for bras. Now, again, this is in America.
See, this is where John's going to bring the science and just absolutely.
This is why he's the producer. So I respect
it. This is in America. So it was run through. I think it was a fashion. It was either a fashion house or a fashion magazine. I can't remember which is which. I can't remember which is which. But it was either a fashion house or a magazine, and they had a not kind of a contest. They did a survey. They were like, we want to measure women's cup sizes, right? And they got 1,000 women, and they measured them all up. Now, specifically, of course, this is America in the 30s and 40s, so they measured 1,000 white women, right? And from that, they drew up the bra sizing system. Now, which of course is broken. You've mentioned a few things, but it also doesn't work for a multitude of other reasons.
No, I know. It's such a stupid.
But yeah,
because
it's a system
it was designed.
That seems like a lot of females are still happy just to deal with. I'm like, surely there's an easier way.
No, that's what I'm saying. I made this argument years ago, and I was just like, surely we can get to a point where we can just change it. Just one person, one company just has to sit back and be like, fuck this. I'm not about B's, C's, and D's anymore. Let's go with the medium, smalls, and larges. Let's move into a better system.
But that system doesn't work either because, especially with bras, there's a range of different body types. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's
Maybe
the problem.
You start doing body type bras, but
yeah,
that's another thing.
Right.
Which is essentially the cup system anyway, though.
Yeah.
It's the number then the cup, which is basically a...
We're trying to rebuild a system that apparently it is impossible to make better.
Maybe this is just what we have. Maybe this is what we have.
I'm pretty sure the numbers at the start of it is the width.
It's the width of the back.
It's your circumference.
Yeah.
Right? And then the cup is
back.
the depth, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Right?
So the cups don't really change.
But that's what I'm getting at. Someone who wears a 34C, apparently, now granted, anyone...
We're all guys in the room right now.
We're all guys in the room. JJ's not here to back it up.
We're the worst four people to have this conversation.
We are probably literally, and especially me, fuck if I know.
We should just stuck to Man-gerie.
I know what we're talking about when we come to the Man-gerie, all right? Now, that's happened. I
want velvet or silk on my skin. I just want that.
Yeah, I just want more variety with my fucking jockwear.
No, I'm for it.
Velvet drapes would be.
And I think in all
I
of
would
this,
drape myself in velvet.
Yeah,
Costanza.
And I think in this conversation, what we've established though is like I said right from the outset, you can't do a 1-to-1 copy of women's lingerie to men's lingerie. That's not going to work. You need to tailor it specifically to the male body type, but also to the female gaze. It's got to be what they want to see.
Yeah. Oh, exactly,
right?
with the Man-gerie.
Yeah,
of course. Because
I guarantee you that's how bras are built. No woman is buying an uncomfortable bra that costs $2 million from Victoria's Secret. Okay, I guarantee you that's a dude purchasing that bra, right?
Well, have I told you the story about how my mate went to go buy his girlfriend a bra for Christmas or something?
Oh God, that would have been scary.
It's a whole thing, bro.
So I'll tell the story quick. 3 boys walk into Honey Birdette, me, Boz, and Kane. Kane's girlfriend. A woman comes from behind the counter, goes, "Oh, hi boys, how can I help you today?" Kane goes, "Oh yeah, I'd like to buy just like to get a set for my girlfriend. So, right, she goes, yeah, what size is she? And Kane just kind of with his hands went, oh, spit. And the retailers kind of just looked at him and just been like, I think you need to call your girlfriend because this is just not going to work unless you exactly know like what is going on. So he's trying to do sizes with his hands.
It's about a hand and a half.
Yes, he's literally going. He's
a bit more than a handful. Yeah,
he's literally going a bit more than a handful.
But my hands are pretty big, so I got to like adjust that.
Can I tell you my dad's story for this?
Sure.
So my dad did the exact same thing. He was going to buy lingerie for my mum, right? And so
how do you know this story?
Yeah, I know.
he told me.
Fair enough.
Open. That's fair enough.
But also because it's a hella funny story, right? So he walks into like a bras and things or something, like an equivalent, right? And at the same time, he felt like he shouldn't be there because he felt like a bit of a pervert being in there, right?
I found
even though he was there for a completely legitimate reason. He was going to buy a gift for his missus, like it's all good, right? And he started looking around. He's like, oh God, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to buy. And at the same time, he's got the anxiety of I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. And then, right, he's walking around and then literally like, because the store's not very deep, up the back of the store, they got the changing rooms. And this lady just like out of the blue, just like opens up the curtain and there she is, right, in just her undies, saying, excuse me, can I have this? Or whatever it was. And he just goes, okay, nope, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. And literally, he's like halfway out the door, but the whole time the shop owner's keeping an eye on him and goes, okay, he's freaking out, he's going to fly the coop, and makes a beeline for him and totally calms him down, because apparently she sees this like all day long. And she's like, oh, hi, are you here to buy, some underwear, some lingerie for your girlfriend or your wife? And he goes, yeah. You know what? Yeah, okay, yeah. And she goes, it's okay. You just come over here, come and have a look at some of these, see what you think. And then she left for a minute, and then the anxiety came. He's like, no, I shouldn't be here. I got to leave. Suddenly, boom! She immediately makes the beeline back. Like this chick was on it. Like she knew exactly what was up, right? And again, asked the question, well, what's your wife's bra size? This is how my dad knows my mum's bra size. One day, he made the bet with my mum. You know what? I reckon my chest is bigger than yours.
There's not a bloke under the sun who has not sat back and gone, man, I can wear my girl's bra.
That's
right.
So you know what they did one day? They broke out the tape measure, and it turned out his chest was exactly the same size as my mum's. So he just went, it's this big. It's the size of my chest. And so they measured up my mum's lingerie based on his measurements.
That's excellent.
Hey, and by the way, my dad wasn't cheap. This is like $300 or $400 lingerie. Like he spent good money on this. You know what I mean? So it was like an upmarket kind of a joint. But yeah, that's the story. It's great.
I just respect retail workers for being patient with stuff like that as well.
Oh, yeah. I think it's really indicative of the sex industry.
Yeah.
Now that leads into like a brilliant conversation. Not when I say sex industry, I mean like the lingerie and sex toys. So, like
the retail side?
The retail side of it is what I meant. What I'm getting at is...
Not the service side.
Yeah. What do you reckon is more uncomfortable for a man to buy? His girlfriend lingerie or his girlfriend a vibrator?
Lingerie.
Oh, the vibrator.
The
vibrator, 100%.
Dude, no, because that's fun for everyone.
Yeah, I know, but like the buying
lingerie's fun for me too.
I feel like it's easier I feel like it might be easier for someone to walk into a sex shop than it is to walk into a lingerie store, me being a man.
Yeah.
I don't get uncomfortable in either situation, but that's just me though. Like,
yeah,
I'll walk in, I'll just be like, hey, I'm buying my girlfriend this set. It's like, what size is it? Like fucking 34 something. And I'll actually do a little bit of research. The idea being, I'm not going to get uncomfortable walking in and being like, can I get that dildo back there? Right? Or can I get that fucking nice lacy pink set with the throw-in bandelettes? Like, fuck yeah. Like, I'm ready to buy either.
But like, let's be honest. If you walk into a sex store, you're not picking things off the wall. There's like shelves.
Oh yeah, but what I'm getting at is I'm not opposed to grabbing it and maybe even going ask the counter and being like, yeah, so I'm trying to buy my girlfriend a vibrator here. What are the options? Like, I see this one here is kind of just a standard set, very like
but you can
pencil,
can review that stuff more easily, I find.
Yeah, aside from lingerie, I agree with you, but that's what I'm getting at. So like, what is you've said lingerie harder to buy?
Yeah, I think
and you're
so.
going sex toy harder to buy.
Okay, well, it's just that there is a stigma of like, okay, and I've bought stuff online before. When it shows up on your credit card, it's just like miscellaneous debit.
Love it.
And then when it comes to you, like the packaging, it's just like there's no obvious sign that it's a sex toy, like on the outside of the packaging. Like if I order something from like Culture Kings or whatever, it just says Culture Kings in big words on the outside of the box or the package. Sex toy stuff is just like, it's a brown box with your address on it, and that's it. Then when you crack it open, then it's the fun stuff. So if you're buying lingerie online, say you knew what you partner's size was, it would come and it would say where it was from on the outside of the box, and it would on your credit card thing it would be like from blah 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 blah. But like sex toy stuff is very much like, and that could just be like people who are probably buying it for the wrong reasons, whether it's for their mistress or like whatever. It's all very just discreet. You're not going to put it on your credit card statements or whatever, because then, like, you know, especially like if you did it right before you went for a new job and they were like, can we just get your bank statements from the last thing just to see what your old earnings were? And you're just like, oh, yeah, there you go. And there's like, you know, massive dildo from wherever on your bank statements, and your new employer's just like, huh, fair enough. Like, I get it from that aspect, but like, I don't think like I would personally be uncomfortable doing either. But like, I understand from like a mass sort of thing is like, yeah, going to buy lingerie, it's not exactly the most comfortable thing to do, but like if you're doing it for the, you know, your girlfriend or whatever, and it's like, you know, it's acceptable.
I believe it's more personal to buy the sex toy than it is the lingerie.
Yeah,
like that's if I had to find difficulty, it would be in the sex toy.
In both situations, and you're right with like the you know, retail attendants. They know exactly why you're there for both situations. You're going into a lingerie store, they're going to be as helpful as possible because, like, you got no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
No.
Your girlfriend's giving you, like, I get, you know, I'm this size in this brand, I'm this size in this brand, I want this, you know, whatever. And you're just like, I have to translate that to this retail person who hopefully knows what the hell I'm talking about.
The last thing you want to be in that situation is too confident about what you think you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that is...
I will go into a situation like that, like my last girlfriend.
And I'll bleed ignorance
Yes,
on it.
I will
like,
just be like, look, she told me this, and this. I need you to fill in the gaps.
And just from subtle conversations, I've picked up this, and this.
Yeah.
You work it out.
Yeah. See, this is what you get.
You don't go in there and be like, I want this. It's like, man, like, I fucking find out.
Actually, this is a conversation. I just want to deviate for a second. I don't understand why when you go into a barbershop or a haircut, like to go get a haircut, they ask you what you want. That's their job.
Thank you.
They get paid to know how to cut hair that suits your style. So right now,
I agree with you.
You have that solid like side part, and it's just shaved down. Apparently, according to my barber, I need that little bit when the side part is. I need that little bit extra on the the short side to make my head not look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. He told me that. I would be like, I want to go get like same as yours, get the full like side part, like a nice neat cut, and just shave the side. He's like, no, don't do that. Everyone goes into a bloody hairdresser's going like, I want this, I want this, I want this. That guy is paid, or guy or girl is paid to know exactly how to cut your hair because they've been through the training of how to do it. And I feel really bad being like, yeah, I want this. I'm just like, dude, this is a canvas.
Yeah.
You do what you
Have
want.
you never said that though?
I've started to do it. Once I started going to barbershops, like proper like barbershops, where like these people are trained to do, especially like in the last 10 years, the whole men's hair thing is blown up. These people are trained to know how your head looks with certain cuts and styles, and they will, and even like before you did that, they would be like, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do this. But I don't want to be going into a place telling these people, it's like anyone that comes to me and be like, can I get a cocktail? And then they try and tell me how to make the cocktail. I'm like, no. I get paid to do this. I've been making cocktails for a decade. I know how to make a cocktail. I don't need to be told how to do my job. Same as barbers. They shouldn't be, and they're very good at what they do. Like my guy now knows his stuff back to front. He's unreal, does the sickest fades I've ever had. But the first time I ever went to him, just like, dude, what do you think? What would suit my head? And he goes, oh, I reckon you should do this, this, and this, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just like, done, make it happen.
Do you believe in barbershop loyalty? Now, there is a big loyalty program with females going to their salons.
I've been to the same... I don't go to a barber. I've gone to the same hairdresser since for 15 years now.
So he's got your hair records on lock.
I go to a woman.
Hey.
I've been to Joe for who knows how long, and I might have to... Only recently have I had to use another girl who works there, Jess, mainly because Joe is starting to move into retirement, which is fine. She's allowed to do that. But Jess is going to be going on maternity leave soon, which means I'm going to have to look for a new barber.
Oh, no.
It's a big thing for us.
It's a big thing.
Dude, it's not just in the nail industry, the same thing. So my mother was obsessed with nail beauty when I was a kid. And we used to go to this particular nail salon at Parkmore Shopping Centre, which is like a half-hour drive away from us just to get her nail. No, sorry. We went to Chadstone first, right, to the ladies there. And then she moved to Parkmore, so we drove to Parkmore. And then she decided to get a house out in the country. So we had to drive an hour and a half into the countryside so my mother could get her nails done.
You've got to look after those cuticles.
That loyalty is fierce.
Yeah.
Well, This is why loyalty cards come into play and all that jam. Like loyalty is a big thing.
It's not.
I completely agree.
Not in hair and nail care. That's what I'm saying. It's not loyalty to the business. It's loyalty to the employee.
Yeah.
It's like you follow that employee from business to business.
The same with it follows exactly the same with barbers and like hairdressers.
I reckon tattoo artists are the exact same way.
And tattoo artists are the same
because I feel like you probably have a dedicated artist.
The guy who got one guy on all that.
You got one guy that you've done your whole arm on.
Yeah, and I have extreme loyalty to him. So if he would have gone to a tattoo shop,
a lot of my mates, like they're the same. They go have like 1 or 2 guys they go to. That is it. Like
for the people at home, just to know what we're talking about. David has a full arm sleeve, and it's like mostly done. I think it's mostly done at this point.
I'm booked in for this Sunday to finish it off.
Right,
it's been years in the making.
It's like 90% complete at this point. Yeah, so that's just for context for the people playing at home.
But I think it's so funny that like there is this loyalty with like more craft-based services or trades,
definitely,
which is really interesting.
Yeah, no, like I say, like I go to the same guy at the same barbershop. Like I don't go to anyone else at that barbershop. I get my guy.
How long have you been
call
using?
in advance?
Yeah, 100%.
Call in advance, yeah.
I usually call in advance. If I need something done real quick, I'll duck in and see if he's there. I'm like, dude, you got a spare half hour? He's like, oh yeah, just come back in an hour or whatever. He's usually pretty good about it. And because like he's just around the corner from my house, all my roommates, we all go to the same guy. And he always asks about, like, whoever's there, he asks about the other two.
Does your barber do beers?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah? There's a big thing now.
That's the big thing now.
So my roommate went there last week to get his hair done before they had this big footy function Saturday night after their game.
Shout out Alistair.
Yeah, no, it was the other one. It was Wilson. Anyway, he goes to the same guy that me and Alistair both go to. And he's like, oh, how are the boys? Haven't seen him for a bit because I haven't had my hair done for a while. Yeah, and he goes, how are the boys? How are they? So it's that level of service. And I'm just like,
brilliant.
I'm going to keep coming back to you, man, because like you hook me up. It's half the price for hair and beard that I used to pay where I used to go. And you do a better job. So I'm going to keep coming back. And the fact that it's literally a 2-minute walk from my front door, just the icing on top.
That is proof that customer service sells.
No.
That is the loyalty program of barbershops, nail salons, anything artsy and craftsy about the body or anything.
I think it's those kind
customer
of
service sells.
A lot of those businesses, I think those style brick and mortar businesses probably will stay.
Yeah.
But
because there's no way you can do it online.
Yeah, I can't get my hair cut online.
Yeah.
Of course not.
I can book online.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe they do become. This is when Instagram starts to become a huge tool for these guys because they can start just doing house calls and take away all their.
That's the thing I was thinking about. You could probably do like an Uber for hairdressers, where like you just call a barber over to your house and then they come and they buzz.
Dude, have we all seen that scene from The Office where Will Ferrell has ordered in a barber to come to the office to do him up because he can't be stuff going to the brick and mortar shop?
No,
but it's such a power move, is what it is.
Right? No, I was thinking of the episode of Hawaii Five-0 where they have this. There's like this minor side character who's you'd like him, Dave. He's a barber in Hawaii, but before he was a barber in Hawaii, he was a lawyer in New York, and he came out to Hawaii because he wanted to get away from the law. He wasn't interested in studying law. His dad forced him into it. But then he goes back into being a practicing lawyer, and because being a practicing lawyer, this is through the episode. Later on, we find him again. He's a traveling barber. He doesn't have a brick and mortar shop anymore, so he just goes from house to house, cutting people's hair because that way he can do that as a side business while he's also lawyering.
Dude, there's a low-key idea there that if it's not capitalized on. Fuck, we got the Man-gerie and traveling barbershops from this episode.
That's it. I've still yet to find a barber is actually my problem. I actually do want to get my hair cut again. I really do. Because remember when we went?
Yeah,
right?
You'd be a good canvas.
What you need is you need to find a barber who really respects your beard and wants to treat your beard with respect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. And the guy that we went to really good about the
beard oils. Oh boy.
Yeah.
They'll give you all the trimming.
The guy that Dave and I went to, that he took me to, really good about the beard. Problem was he wasn't good about the hair, in my opinion. And I don't say that he was bad. Like he's a very skilled professional, right? Very skilled in trade. But again, same problem. I went in and I had no idea I just wanted to get my hair cut, and I wanted it. What I definitely knew for sure is I wanted to get it off the back of my neck, right? Because it was the end of summer, it was bloody hot, right? And then the other thing I wanted is I didn't want to look like a white supremacist, right? Those were the two big things for me, because it's very easy if I do like a buzz cut, like do very short hair like I used to do when I was a kid. I look at myself in the mirror and I go, I look like a bloody criminal, right? I look like someone who's going to burgle a house. Right,
we don't want that, John.
I don't want that. I didn't want that look.
Don't be afraid to just say to your barber, man, like, hey,
don't make me look like a criminal.
That's what I said to him. I said, listen, all I want is and you were there, and I was like, And also, by the way, Dave, I'm going to put you on blast here a little bit. The reason why I wanted you there too is because you know what's going on with hair, and I figured you'd have some input.
But it's to Ricky's point. Everyone is different.
I think
he can't rock the style that I rock.
But you couldn't pick up the ball because you could see that the guy was fumbling in the middle of the court. Because I said that to him, and he
Then
went,
he's just not a good barber. He's just not a good barber. Because you're meant to be able to go to the barber and go, hey man, I'm not trained 10 plus years in cutting fucking hair.
He should be able to clock your head and just be like...
He should be able to look at you, move the
This
hair up and
style.
down, go, all right, that's your skull shape. That's how much hair you have. This is how thin it is. It doesn't curl, it's straight. And he should go, all right, I know what cut I need to rock here. If you were to give him the permission and go right ahead.
And you're honestly like a barber's dream.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You're like a
Have
really skilled
the
barber.
canvas.
You have like long hair, long beard. You can go like, all right, we can start from scratch. We can go all the way back. We can go halfway back. We can do anything with your hair, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the thing. If you walk into a barber who knows what he's doing, he can be like, you are giving me so many options right now. I have so many ideas. I'm just going to try whatever I want.
And that's a good barber.
That's what a good
That's
barber
I
a
is.
shouldn't
good
have to
barber.
jump in.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. So I've still got to find that person. And with that, I think we're gonna call it here today. I want to say thank you to all my guests for joining me today. I want to thank David, Lachie, and Ricki. Thank you
very
all
much.
for coming
No
by.
worries.
And with that, this has been Pint. But one more announcement, real quick before we end. We are now on Spotify.
We are.
We are now on Spotify. So
real?
Yeah.
yes, we are for real. So
Yeah, pretty hype. Yeah, I know. Only 7
I know.
episodes.
Does that take a
jump
heat?
on
That
jump
takes
on
a
the
yeet.
Spotify app right now and search Pint Party.
I will.
Right, and it is there. Go ahead. By the way, so if you're listening to us, and I know a lot of people have asked me, are you on Spotify? Now we are. By all means, please jump on there, follow us there, listen to us there, or wherever you want to listen to podcasts. I'm easy breezy, right? But if you're all about that Spotify life like me, please by all means listen to it there. And if you've been meaning to get some friends on, but again they're all about the Spotify life and they're like, oh, I don't want to download a separate app to listen to one podcast. I feel you. Please tell a friend about the podcast. Tell them we're on Spotify now.
We're
It's
still on
so
iTunes.
easy. We're still on iTunes. We're still everywhere else you want to find a podcast. Right, but we're now also on Spotify, so please tell a friend about that.
We are too.
We are
That's so
too. There we
cool.
go. See, Ricky's having a suss of it right now.
I have found it.
It is live right now.
Beautiful
right?
and yellow.
Oh
Looking
yeah,
good.
it's all there. And with that, this has been Pint Party. Cheers.
Cheers.
This podcast is part of the Hartefact Podcast Network. For more of this and our other podcasts, head to hartefactstudios.com.au.